You are listening to the Joyce Aldrich Show from Toronto, Canada. Arts and Entertainment Edition.
Well, I called you written that I hoped you would notice. I stood in front of my emotion, but it was taller than I was, and I had stained my teeth just to have a conversation. But now it takes me to the place when a month burns forever. Oh, I thought that I was clever. I thought you thought the way that I did, that I had nothing to lose. Then I did. Oh, I thought that I was clever. I thought you thought the way that I did, that I had nothing to lose. Then I did. Of course I did. And you'd throw out names as if I'd ever wanna say them. I guess you thought I needed saving, but only you could have done that. And we feel the space and then we'd stumble through it desperate. You didn't want to say we're separate. I didn't want you to either. But girl, you made me a believer. I thought you thought the way that I did, that I had nothing to lose. Then I did. Oh, I thought that I was clever. I thought you thought the way that I did, and I had nothing to lose. Then I did. Of course I did. That I was clever, and I thought you thought the way that I did, and I had nothing to lose. Then I did. Oh, I thought that I was clever. I thought you thought the way that I did, and I had nothing to lose. Then I did. Of course I did.
Wow, and I will definitely attest that that really is a sweet, sweet song. And we're going to be listening to more of this artist's music today and talking to Clay Hazey, who's bringing to us his brand new EP, which is called A Sweet Collection of Warm Late Night Country Folk Ballads. And you're going to love them. You're going to fall in love with Clay. I mean, the music is gorgeous, and we're going to be talking about this with Clay right now. We've got him right here with us here in studio. Clay Hazey. Clay Hazey, welcome to the Joyce Aldrich Show. So wonderful to have you.
Hey, thanks so much for having me, Joyce. It's a pleasure to be here.
Oh, wow. I can't get over, your voice and the slide guitar match. I don't know how to, when you do that, you do that beautiful, that your vocals are gorgeous and your harmonies are beautiful in this. And what a wonderful, this is your debut EP?
It is, yeah. For this project, for my solo project as Clay Hazey, yeah, it's the first release I'm doing, so
So you're
I'm
stepping.
excited about it.
I'm excited about it too. Clay Hazey, that you're coming out as Clay Hazey. This is your name now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
right.
asking. You've
So I am
reinvented yourself, have you?
a little bit, yeah. You
Yeah.
know, I wanted to have a name that kind of suited how I was feeling with the project, and it just sounded right to me. And so it's nice to have a name to operate under that's a little bit different from my birth name, you know?
Yeah, well, that, hey, all the old time Hollywood stars did that and it worked for them. I mean, some of the names they had, and you think about Cary Grant, I think his name was, I forget what it was, but it wasn't a movie star name. So they just took them into the office, said, okay, you are now going to be called this. And this is your new persona. This is, this is how you're like, this is how you're going to step out. Nothing wrong with that. I think that's a fabulous idea. You need to have a stage name. That's a good thing. Okay, so Clay Hazey, what a great name for new country. And we're going to talk about this a little bit later because your debut single. I thought if the Beatles were doing country, that's what it would sound like.
Wow. Well, that's very kind of you to say. I'm a huge Beatles fan. They're a big influence.
Well, I can feel it in your music. It's there. It's so there. The way you have this, you talk about your bio says you've got this laid back kind of, easy delivery in your music. But I love the. I just could feel the Beatles in there. I could absolutely feel it. So let's talk about your journey. You have a journey here. Well, you've come a long way with this EP, with this music. What brought you to write this particular group of songs?
Well, I had I was in a band. It was a band I enjoyed being in a lot, Cape Cartel, with my brother Jake and a good friend of mine, Dan Moskovich. But that sort of got put on the back burner right before the pandemic hit. And then, as so many projects did, and so I spent a long time without playing and sort of questioning whether I wanted to continue doing it. I kind of got disenfranchised with the whole thing. And I went through a breakup that was tough, and I went back to Salt Spring, where I'm from, to stay with my folks for a while.
Now that's out west, Salt Spring
That's
Island.
out west, Salt Spring Island, BC. Yeah.
Wow.
And they have an acreage out there.
Nice.
And so I got to just stay there throughout some winter months and really buckle down and reassess where I was at as an artist, but just, sort of regroup, so to speak. And out of that, I realized that I did want to make music. I still felt like writing, but I wanted to just write what I felt like hearing and try to think less, not that I don't appreciate anyone listening to my music, but think less of sort of the audience and just play the stuff that I kind of grew up on a little bit. My folks played a lot of country music.
Oh yeah.
And so most of these songs kind of came from that state of mind. I was like, all right, this is like Clay Hazey came out of that too. Come up with the name and the idea, and I was just ready to write some stuff that I meant, And so then I went back to Montreal, and at that time I also quit drinking, and those two things kind of coincided, where there's a clarity in mind, and came back to Montreal to record them. It took a while to get it to the point where it is, as the recording process is often long and arduous, even for a group of 5 songs.
Oh, one song? Are you kidding me? A lot of people are releasing one song at a time because really it's very costly. Production is getting an EP out is no small feat, and it takes a long time to get these out and to get them sounding the way you want them. without overproducing them as well, because you can overproduce a song, and you have not done that at all in this.
Thanks.
No, well, it's really true though. You know, you probably heard songs that are just so overproduced. You know, they're just too perfect. Not that yours aren't perfect; they're very good. I don't want to say, you know, but you were produced by Nick Lanyon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that out of Montreal?
Yeah, that's he's the man. Nick Lanyon, he's a singer-songwriter too. He's in a group called Rapallo, and they're fantastic. Anyone listening should check them out.
Yeah.
Rapallo. But he recorded. He offered to produce my stuff. He said I heard some songs that I'd done. I'm not sure how he found out, but he was like, if you want to record these, I'd be happy to do it. And I was like, of course, that'd be great. You know, saves me looking for a producer, and he did a great job of it. I couldn't have done it without him.
Yeah,
He recorded it all out of Autoland Studios.
And the mixing is excellent. Jonathan Anderson did a super job mixing and mastering the songs as well, which is real art. I like.
Yeah, he was a dream to work with. Right.
Absolutely, and how Nick recorded you, just absolutely beautiful. So let's listen to some more music. I really want people to. Would you like to play your debut single? And because that's the one that really came across, like the Beatles, especially, and Not Hard to Forget. I thought, wow,
sure, yeah.
It's the Beatles doing country. You know, totally.
That's great.
That's just my ear, but you know, that could be my just. You know, my perception, but I'm sure other people are going to think so too. I just have a feeling. So, what's the backstory to Not Hard to Forget? Or I know these are all various types of, you know, love songs at different stages, and so.
Yeah, it's a love song that's a little more general than the other ones. I guess like a lot of us, I tend to overthink things, and been in relationships where I'm questioning, it's like, what is this really? What do I want? And it's easy to think your way out of a good situation. And it was also inspired by a conversation I had with my friend who is in a similar boat. Is like, is this love that I'm feeling, is this the real deal, or how would I know? And it's like, think a little bit less, you know, and see how you feel, and just enjoy what you're being presented with, and let it grow naturally. And so sort of the idea of not hard to forget that we can fall in love is that idea where it's like, we can be thinking about so many other things and overanalyzing, and it's, you know, we're allowed to like let go and enjoy what's presented to us.
Well, there's a thing about letting life pass you by, and there's another one about love passing you by. And by the way, I live at a very busy intersection here in Toronto. So that was the woo. That's why I usually do my my podcast a little bit later. But hey, this is fine. It's city life, and this is real. And we're going to play "Not Hard to Forget." This is from Clay Hazey's new EP. It's called the Clay Hazey EP. Is that it? What's it called?
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Well,
Clay Hazey EP. That's right.
Yeah, because you're coming out as Clay Hazey. This is the Clay Hazey EP. This is Not Hard to Forget, the debut single from that EP.
She's not what she seems. All she is standing before you. Nothing less and nothing more. You could die in the morning with everything that she is not. You gotta be here. There really isn't anywhere else, boy. a test, but it's also not a drill. Don't think about how you feel. Words only point to things you cannot say. Avoid the spiral, 'cause time is suicidal. It's never been about survival. And if it is, you know you'll have to fight anyway. It's not hard to forget. Not hard to forget. Hard to forget that we can fall in love. It's not hard to forget. Not hard to forget. Hard to forget that we can fall in love. You gotta be here. Don't drift away to everywhere else, boy. You're missing out on nothing but decoys. Just seeing you already, and you'll never get a better view. It's not hard to forget. Not hard to forget. Hard to forget that we can fall in love. It's not hard to forget. Not hard to forget. Hard to forget that we can fall in love. Oh yeah. Not hard to forget. It's not hard to forget. Not hard to forget. Hard to forget that we can fall in love. We can fall in love. We can fall in love. Not hard to forget. Not hard to forget. Hard to forget that we can fall in love. Not hard to forget. Oh yeah.
Well, I've got a great big smile on my face right now, I'm telling you. Oh, I'm listening to those harmonies. Boy, those are some Beatle harmonies in there, and just the whole feel, the rhythm, the drum beat, everything, and the easygoing nature of the songs. It's like they just spill out on into the ethers. They just sort of coming at you. There's nothing pretentious, nothing difficult, easy on the ear, but it just flows right in. It just flows right with everything. It's just got a really good vibe. I love it. This is great music, Clay. It's just,
Well, thank you so much.
I'm telling
That's
you.
really nice to hear.
No, but it's been very nice for me to hear too, because I love this music. Now you're going to be coming. You're in Montreal, but you're going to be coming to the Big Smoke, as they call it, Hogtown, as they call us here in Toronto. You're going to be playing the Cameron House. You're going to be at the North by Northeast Festival, right?
Yes, I am. Friday, June 14th at the Cameron House.
Fantastic.
Got a bunch of other great sort of country artists and country adjacent artists that night.
Oh, I
It's
know.
going to be great. First show in Toronto. I'm
Oh
very
yeah,
excited.
I know the Cameron House very well. I've gone down there to hear lots of great musicians, and I will be down there on June 14th.
Oh, great.
I got to come down and hear you.
Right
and
on.
see. I got to come down. Got to come down there, and I encourage everyone, of course, to come down, and of course to check you out on Facebook and Clay Hazey, CLAY, and then Hazey, HAZEY, and of course your clayhazy.com. That's pretty easy. You can go on the website there as well. You are a person, you're very open about where you've come from and how you got to where you are now, and and talking about the pandemic was a killer for a lot of music. I mean, it was really the kiss of death. I hate to put those words out there because you mentioned suicidal in your songs, but it, it was horrible. It was horrible. And
Yeah.
and I actually I do know of one musician who did die, a close friend who passed away during the pandemic. Yeah. Yeah, it really did him in, actually. And this is not a joke. People don't realize just how seriously it affected the whole music scene, all the artists. It was devastating, to say the least. And for you to come out with an EP like this, which is so gorgeous, and to sit there and say, well, I'm having a hard time. This is not good. I got to rethink. You went back home to the soil, and planted yourself there and said, okay, what am I going to do with myself? And you came out with Clay Hazey and a beautiful, beautiful EP that I'm telling you, I know I shouldn't say this, but it'd be like the heartthrob of young in new country right now. I think people really got to know who you are, for sure. And oh, I see here. I'm looking at your bio here on your website. He stumbled back to his home island off the coast of BC to salt his wounds and grow a beard. Well, that. But my son's got a beard. He's going to be 40. But it's a hipster thing too. It looks great. I love the beards that the young people are wearing. I think they look great. You look good in a beard.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I can only grow half of one, but I did my best.
You only grow half.
My older brother, he has a nice full beard, and I'm like, when I get older, but I'm 30 now, so I guess this is what I'm dealing with.
Well, there you go. You see, look, it looks great. It's not one of those great big fuzzy beards. It's a hipster beard. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I do what I can.
Talking about your looks and everything, but you were able to do something very difficult. A lot of people haven't been able to do. And how were you able to step into sobriety? Because that's important for people to understand too.
Yeah. My process came from I'd done a couple stints of like a month sober or 2 months sober prior to that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, okay, after that I'll drink moderately, and I just wasn't able to. I didn't seem to be able to do that, and so the drinking to me got to a point where it was just getting in the way of everything, especially my well-being. And so I do see a therapist, and she was the one who I was sort of admitting the extent to which I drank. And she was kind of the catalyst, being like, I'm sort of worried for, well, not to get too into it, but worried about you, and I think that you should consider stopping. And I did want to. Yeah. If there's anyone, I don't know if I should be an authority on this or anything, but just on my own story, I feel like I can be. So I just decided that it had to be black and white for me. I tend to be that way. So like I can't have a few, I can have none, or many, seemingly. And so choosing none, that was 3 years ago now. And it's just been such an improvement on my life. Like the things that caused me to drink before still come up, but I'm better at dealing with them now.
Yeah, you have new coping strategies.
In so many ways. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You say, well, instead of doing this, I'm going to do that, and it's replacing the one with the other. That's key, obviously, and not always easy to do. But I'm also reading here in your bio that new tunes in hand. He changed his name, which we know, and you bought a sedan. What kind of car did you buy?
I bought a Toyota Corolla.
They're a good car.
It's a great car.
Yeah.
And I came back to Montreal, and I had it for a while. and I got like $500 in parking tickets in the first like 3 days. And I was like, I don't even need a car here because I
Well,
live downtown Montreal and we can walk everywhere. So I sold it at like a huge loss.
oh no.
I, yeah, so it just served as a means of transportation from one side of the country to the other
Yeah.
because I wanted to do that, that trek across the country. It felt poetic and exciting,
Oh
and
yeah.
uh, and so I did. But it turns out that you need to pay for parking, and
Yeah.
and I don't need a car,
And
so I ended
gas
up just
and
selling
all
it,
the
and
stuff.
gas and
Yeah,
insurance
and lunch
and
area.
all
Yeah,
that
it's a
stuff.
big deal. It's a big deal. And you're living in
Yeah,
Montreal, and that when you're living in the city like that. Same here in Toronto. Like there. Yeah, there's a need to drive for some, but not for most. Absolutely not. And yeah, so you went all the way back to Quebec. Now, what do you find about Montreal that because I've talked to other artists and of course I'm from Ottawa Hall and my family hails
mm.
back to Montreal. Actually, my side story here, my uncle Tuts Laviolette, Uncle Tuts was a cabaret dancer in Montreal in the 1920s.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah, but the story was that he died of an overdose in the 20s. And the 1920s in Montreal was a crazy place. People from
Yeah,
New York, it's New York still goes, people from New York still go to Montreal. They're like sister cities in some ways, artistically. But yeah, it was quite the tragic story for him. But yeah, he was, Montreal has always been an artsy, wonderful place to be, a bohemian place. So, what do you find about Montreal, Quebec, that
I've
inspires
been
you?
here a long time now, and it's a place that is just you kind of keep discovering different sides of it as you get older.
Mm,
It is artistic and it's comparatively affordable, and so people can afford to be artists for longer. And for that reason, there's sort of this community that seems to support itself.
no, that's
And
a
there's lots of great bands that come out of here, and
mm.
lots of great art as well. And just lots of play. I mean, it's a pedestrian city too. Like that's why I sold the car
It
because you can kind
is,
of
it
walk
is.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you that vibe that you can just go out and catch some good music or go out and play some good music, hopefully, whenever you want.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. But we're going to hear you here in Toronto, and I'm excited. I'm excited about that. So again, I'm just going to remind people who are in the Toronto area to definitely come out June 12th to the Cameron House. My gosh, and
It's actually June 14th.
14th.
June 12th. Yeah, June
Did I
14th.
say 12th? I'm scrolling down wrong. What's June 12th?
I think that's the
Oh,
beginning
that's
of the
June
North by
12th to
Northeast
16th is
Festival.
the North by Northeast, of course. Hello,
That's it.
Joyce. Duh. Okay.
No
That's the whole
worries.
festival, North by Northeast. But you will be there on the 14th at the Cameron House. And what time do you start?
The night music starts at 8. We are on at 9, so we're on second.
Oh, nice. Nice timing. Nice
Yeah.
timing. So I'll have to get there a little bit earlier so I can give you a hug. There you go.
Yeah,
That'd be,
absolutely.
oh my gosh. So let's play some more music. We got to play music here. Let's see. What other song would you like me to play? I don't necessarily want to play your whole EP because people got to go buy that. Where can they purchase it?
Right. You can purchase it on Bandcamp, and you can stream it on all the various streaming platforms. It'll be everywhere May 31st.
May
So
31st. That's a big release.
yeah,
We're getting a nice
that's
taste of
right.
it now. So, okay. So why don't we play one more song? You got, yeah, I don't want to play them all because we've got 5 songs on the EP. So if we play 3, that's over half. So,
That's right. Yeah,
yeah,
50%.
gotta leave something to the imagination. Unless you want to play them all, it's up to you. But what other song would you like to let's say go out with?
Let's put on. We'll do one that's gonna drop on Friday, so people get a little sneak peek.
Okay.
Dancing Out of Time
Okay.
is a good one to
Oh,
play, I think.
okay. And is there a story behind Dancing Out of Time?
Yeah, this one was written about my current relationship where I'll keep some details out of it, but in the sense that
Well, yeah, keep it
I'm
private.
very excited about the relationship and overwhelmed by the emotions that went with it, and she's great. And
Oh, it's wonderful.
at any rate, it was written at the sort of the beginning of this relationship, and yeah, I suppose that's the story behind it.
I've written songs at the beginning of relationships, and yeah, absolutely wonderful to do. And and I'm hoping to meet her at Cameron House. Is she going to be with you?
No, unfortunately, she can't.
Oh,
She can't make it down for the show. But,
well, that's okay.
another time, I'm sure.
No, she didn't want this old lady coming up to her. Anyway.
No, I'm sure she'll be
Who's this woman?
Anyway,
well, I'm going to wish you all the best. And we say in Jewish, we say, may you have 120 years in good health, and may you only have simchas, which means may you only have reasons to celebrate and happy times and joy. Because we could sure as heck use it. So we're going to play Dancing Out of Time, and don't go away because we're going to do our final goodbyes and remind people where to buy your music and go to your website and look at your hipster beard and everything else. Okay.
Sounds perfect.
And watch your YouTube vids. I really do like the Not Hard to Forget with the still that's there. That's really beautiful. With the roses and you in the hammock. That's quite beautiful. Really it is. So here we go. This is Dancing Out of Time, Clay Hazey from the Clay Hazey EP, coming out on May 31st.
your heart, man, blood into your useful hand. It keeps you into trouble and it keeps me coming back. What's my plan? To keep you around. Everything I once was ready for the next attack. Baby, stay just like that. Baby, stay just like that. It's a little too much, I'm barely standing. But I'll stay on my feet, ever after never ends. Whatever happens, till you know what I mean. You can take my days away. It's better now you lie, doesn't bother me at all. When we're dancing all the time. Your hair's still gold, I lost at 3 years old. Saw you flipping off the cops while I buckle up like I've been told. Keep me near, absolve me of all my fears. It should have sounded amazing when we toss it back and play by ear. Baby, cheers. Stay right here, it's a little too much, I'm barely standing. But I'll stay on my feet, ever after never ends. Whatever happens, till you know what I mean. You can take my days away. It's better now you lie, doesn't bother me at all. When we're dancing all the time. It's a little too much, I'm barely standing. of time.
Dancing Out of Time, Clay Hazey EP. And, there, Clay, I hear some modified Hank Williams.
Sure. Love Hank Williams.
Oh, I
That's
can
great.
hear
Thanks.
Hank in there too with the
Sure, yeah.
without you've modified that whole country sound to this beautiful it's like a dream. I really like it. I really like it a
Oh,
lot.
thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. You are
Very
so
kind.
I am kind. I am, but I'm also truthful. I cannot tell a lie. So I'm an Ottawa Hull girl. I'm one of those funny French Canadians there from that area. uh,
Right on.
yeah, but anyway, yeah. So were you born out west?
Yep, I was born in White Rock, and then spent a bit of my childhood in Alberta, and then spent the majority of it, my childhood that is, on Salt Spring Island. So yeah,
Oh.
West Coast originally.
Yeah. No, that's cool. No, my brother lives out west. He lives in Alberta. He moved from Ottawa, but he said, "Don't tell anybody we're from the east, okay?" He tells everybody he's from Edmonton, and
Is that right?
and so for
That's
having
fun.
someone from Alberta come out to Montreal, it's like a reverse thing. It's kind of weird, but it's wonderful too. It's absolutely wonderful. Montreal, I love Montreal. I love it. I've got to get
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
great.
I've got to get out there this summer. I want to go, and got to get up to Quebec City I got to hug the Bonhomme, the Bonhomme de Neige, and we've got of course Saint Jean Baptiste Day coming up on June 24th.
That's true.
That was my
Amazing.
well my my grandmother was born June 24th. That was the whole thing, but the culture is so cool in Quebec. But my cousin Eric says, "Oh yeah," he says, "Yeah, Saint Jean Baptiste Day. He lives in Quebec too." And he says, "Yeah, it's the Pope's birthday. Everything shuts down. Everything, forget about
Yeah, it's a
July
big deal.
1st. July 1st is not the deal. It's June 24th. Oh yeah, that's
That's right.
everything. That's everything. Out come the red sashes and everything. But it's wonderful. It's our culture. It's beautiful. Anyway, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come on to my program. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your music before I say goodbye? And
Well, thanks for having me on as well. It's been a real pleasure. Just stream it. Look out for it May 31st. The Clay Hazey EP will be out everywhere, and
yeah.
whoever's looking for that type of music, maybe you'll enjoy it.
Oh, not maybe. I'm sure people will enjoy it because, there's a lot of people who are listening to country who weren't listening to country before because of music like yours. Not that I love the old country. I don't know if you ever, I love Lucille Starr as well. She's from New Brunswick, and we have a lot of great Canadians who are great country stars as well. But yeah. So you can get it on Bandcamp, go to clayhazey.com website, go to Clay Hazey on Facebook, on Instagram. Just Google Clay Hazey, CLAY, then Hazey, HAZEY, and you'll find where he is. He's everywhere, everywhere, as Clay Hazey. So I won't ask you what your name was before because you are now Clay Hazey, and let's see a lot of Clay Hazey, and you got to get down to Nashville, I guess. I don't know. Is that your next stop?
Maybe eventually. I'd like that, but taking it slow. We'll start with Toronto.
Well, we are kind of north. We are called North Nashville, Nashville
Is that right?
North.
All right.
Yeah, we are Nashville
All right.
North.
We'll count it then. Yeah.
There you go. So see you on June 14th at the Cameron House. You're starting at 9:00. So
That's right.
I got to go get my beer at 8.
Yeah, that's right.
Get a seat because they're not. Seating is limited. Are you in the back room or the front room?
I'm actually not sure. I'm not
There's
sure which
two
one I'm
rooms.
in.
There's one in the front, one in the back. Well, you will be there. It's not a huge place, but it's a great place, and
Nice.
and you're gonna have a ball. It's great, and it's in a great part of town. And you'll get. Have you come to Toronto very often, or?
A few times, yeah. Yeah, I've been a couple times for Jay's games, and then once with my old band. We played there as well. But
Oh.
this is my first time as Clay Hazey. First time at the Cameron House. Also, I've heard good things.
Oh yeah, no, it's a great spot for musicians, and they're very supportive. So, so looking forward to that. So Clay Hazey EP coming out May 31st. Get it and love it, and I'm going to be putting it on playlists here on the Joyce Aldrich show. So you'll be able to hear it again and again. So thank you so much for joining me here on the Joyce Aldrich Show. We'll be back with more great artists like Clay Hazey.
Thanks again, Joyce. It was a real pleasure.
Mine too.
You are listening to the Joyce Aldrich Show from Toronto, Canada, Arts and Entertainment Edition.